Hey guys, welcome back to an all-new tutorial. This one's going to be going over the weapons and sandbox you might want to include in your linear infection map. So I've divided up everything here into tiers, and we're going to kind of talk about the weapons in them, how I might use them, how common they should be in your map, things of that sort, okay? So starting over here, this is going to be your common tier. These are going to be the weapons that you can get away with having a lot of. Your regular assault rifles, of course, one that you're going to want to have a good amount of because you want players to kind of at least be able to keep up the fight. And of course, the regular shotgun, disruptor, heat wave, long shot, mangler. Those are weapons that are just they're going to fit those more niche fields. It's going to depend on your map for that. Of course, the plaza weapons up here. These aren't the best for unshielded opponents, but if you want to have a weapon, maybe you got like a covenant or a banish set up. These aren't bad weapons to have at all. Riven Mangler is honestly, in my opinion, just not a good weapon at all. But its headshot capabilities are still really good. So I would put it on par with the Mangler, especially if you want to have maybe another headshot capable weapon in a second room, but you're not ready for the real advanced weapons yet. It's a pretty good like middle ground option. Sentinel Beam is like is like a slightly worse assault rifle. Definitely a good option still nonetheless. Okay. Moving on here to the second tier, these are going to be weapons that I consider really good for defense and cleaning up hordes. So your regular Hydra is its anti-infantry capabilities is not that good, but it's still going to get the job done considering it's still an explosive. Arcane Sentinel Beam absolutely melts, but it has 80 shots in like one mag, so it's like not going to be your best option, but like it's really powerful. The regular commando's headshot capabilities is absolutely crazy, but it's going to take someone that really knows how to control the weapon to really just shine with it. So it's a weapon you can get away with like maybe two or three of them, kind of within not within a close proximity, but maybe like two or three rooms apart. Like it's not the most crazy weapon to have. Pinpoint Needler, self-explanatory. It's not gonna be the most ideal weapon, but it's gonna do a good job. If you've played the map, I believe it's Prism, you've seen that thing absolutely goes crazy in like a 4v4 setting. So even if it's like you versus like two or three zombies, you're probably gonna be fine. And you might be seeing the flex fire and being like, "Whoa, why'd you put a sniper so early?" Because the flex fire is kind of more of a niche weapon. The flex fire, it offers that close range capabilities, but its damage is like not that good. Headshots, it's going to be great, but once again, you're going to have to hit your shots. It's not as accurate. It's overall pretty much it's a worse sniper. It's just not that good. But it can still shine sort of, okay? Then over here you have the unbound plaza pistol. Now this might seem crazy, but since the FLEETCOM update, I believe it shoots a little faster, and the overcharge shot acts like a shotgun. So it is absolutely crazy. It's similar to the bolt shot from Halo 4, I believe, or was it 5? I forgot which one. It was like a real big problem, but it's a really good weapon. Stalker rifle is like one that you need to really hit your shots for. It's not the best. I probably wouldn't give it a lot of ammo. But it is a weapon is going to call for somebody that's accurate, and with a mode like infection, they're probably moving around a lot, so the chance of them hitting a shot every single time is not all there. Moving on here to the blue tier, these are going to be weapons that you're not going to want a lot of, but maybe having two of them in a map is probably not that bad. So the Impact Commando is a weapon that acts sort of like an SMG. Last I checked, it's really great. It's really going to play that close quarters role super well. It is a great weapon to have. I personally love the Commandos, and I'm going to pick an Impact Commando in most linear infection maps if I come across one. It's a great choice. DMR is an absolute headshot machine, but since FLEETCOM update, it shoots a little slower, so it's like once again, with the fast pacedness of infection, it's kind of hard to deal with a lot of zombies at once. I still want to give this a lot of ammo, and I would have put a lot of these. Maybe like one is probably what I'm going to do in my maps. The shock rifle is, with its interlinking capability, it has, good damage. However, you're going to want to hit upper body. You're going to want to hit headshots still, even on unshielded opponents. It's a good weapon, but it's not gonna do you like the purging shock rifle will. Okay. Up next, we have the Stalker Rifle Ultra. This one is just a better version of the Stalker Rifle, but it's still not as good in the body. It's going to be better for the upper body and the headshots. I believe it's like maybe 2 or 3 in the body, so it's still not as good as like something like, let's say, like the regular sniper, but it's still like a great weapon. I probably wouldn't get this one a lot of ammo either. The advanced heat wave, the scatterbound heat wave, is another great choice. This weapon, it actually has tracking shots within a close proximity, and it's really strong. I would not have a lot of these in a map. I'd probably do maybe one, and I'd probably put this in like maybe about the middle of the map or so, like about maybe third, fourth room, depending on what I got. It's a great weapon nonetheless. Okay, over here, these are weapons that are self-explanatory. I mean, you can just take a look at this right now. I mean, these weapons are absolute, like, these are dominant. These are monsters on the field. Both battle rifles go absolutely crazy. The Breacher is a more of a CQB battle rifle, so you want to keep that in mind when you're placing down like the two battle rifles. I would never have more than one in a map, depending on the map size and what the mode is. Um, the Breacher also doesn't have as much damage as the BR itself, the base BR, but it shoots a lot faster, so it can really go crazy in the right hands. Both cinder shots are absolute monsters. I mean, regardless of which one you got, they are crazy. I believe this one disperses into smaller shots as well, so that one would really just clear up a horde. The Bandit Evo is really good at serving that close quarters fights. It's just really good. It's gonna be one that you're gonna want to use 100%. It is a phenomenal weapon. I would not put more than maybe one of these in a map, maybe two, and I would not get a lot of ammo. Convergence Bulldog, you see I've kind of placed it down here. Um, Convergence Bulldog is just absolutely crazy. It's one that you can kind of get away with even more than like two in a map, depending on the size. But I mean, its range, its damage, the ammo count is so good. I love picking up this weapon when I can in a linear infection map. It's definitely one I think people don't use a lot, and it's one I recommend for everybody when they get a chance to use it. I just would not put a lot of these in a map. Rockets, both are self-explanatory. One doesn't track, one tracks. You know, do what you will with that. I probably would not have more than one. I would probably only do maybe like one, like just the two shots, and maybe a spare depending on the map. The volatile skewer is one that is really good on clearing up a horde, perhaps rushing your holdout, and it is like, I mean, I've seen people get like 6, 7, 8 kills in just one shot, just at a choke point. It is an absolute monster. It is really good. Definitely do not pass up on this one. It is one that I would recommend that you use, probably for a finale or like a just whatever your map calls for. Striker sidekick. I know it's like just a pistol, but the striker sidekick is just absolutely insane. And I realized I didn't place it here, but I would even go as far as placing the regular sidekick. I gotta find it real quick. I'd even put even the regular sidekick here, or perhaps in a blue tier, but just because of the fact it's still like a really good option, I'm just gonna put it here as well. Both of these striker options are absolutely viable. I mean, they are really good. The striker sidekick shoots faster, higher damage, bigger mag. It is crazy. I just, people pass this up all the time, but it is a really great option. The regular the regular sidekick is not the, it's not anywhere near the striker sidekick, but it's still a really good headshot machine. I would not put a lot of these. I'm sorry, I would not put a lot of these in a map, and I would not put a lot of ammo with it if you do. Scorpion Tail, self-explanatory. If you're not familiar though, the Scorpion Tail is an Easter egg weapon. It is I don't know why they use the same model, but it's a scrap cannon that shoots scorpion rounds. So it's having a tank in your hand, which is crazy. So moving on, the scrap cannon is an explosive machine gun turret paired up with a coordinated team is gonna really make a lot of enemies one tap. It's absolutely a monster. Um, all three hammers are crazy. Diminisher Hope has like a blast radius that like shoots in a direction that you swing the hammer. It is going to wipe hordes out that are pushing your team. A great choice to have. I recommend it's definitely for like a finale. The regular gravity hammer, self-explanatory. The rushdown hammer, you move faster. I believe you jump higher, and you have even more damage. And it's just an absolute like total upgrade to the regular hammer. Really great to have. I would never put more than maybe one of these in a map. The purging shock rifle is just the shock rifle, but just way better. Interlink capabilities upgraded to like a 10. I mean, you have bigger ammo count. I mean, it's one shot capabilities like almost anywhere on the body. It's super super good. I would not pass up on this weapon. It's one that I probably have maybe one of these in a map, probably with a low ammo count. Pursuit Hydra is just a far better version of the Pursuit Hydra, only because its anti-infantry capabilities and its fire rate, I believe, is increased. The anti-infantry, you can get away with one tapping um, the infected as compared to the regular Hydra, which I think you might have to put two depending on where you hit them. You can get away with just shooting at like a zombie's feet, and you're gonna probably one tap them with this. I would not get us a lot of ammo. It's really really good. Moving on, these weapons. This is what I call the wild card tier. This is really gonna just depend on your map, and this is really where like you might want a lot of them, you might want a little bit. They're just not really going to be super game breaking, with exception to the machine gun turret. I'm going to talk about that one a little different. Um, the calcine disruptor, its interlinking capabilities is just, it's like a, honestly I would even argue even a better version of the purging shock rifle. I would put these in maps that like maybe you have a really difficult choke point. It's really going to help thin out the hordes rushing your survivors. The sniper rifle is one that you could put as, you know, even as early as the beginning of your map to as late as the last part of your map, or the finale. It's one that I would not give a lot of ammo for, of course, depending on where it's at and what your map is calling for. But it's one that's it's really good. It's a really good weapon. It's one shot everywhere in the body. It's just 10 out of 10 weapon. The machine gun turret. This one, whether stationary or as a pickup like this, it's it can be very strong, and its role is one that should be used for helping clear out a horde from rushing your survivors. It's one that is just great. It's one that I would never give a lot of ammo. I found in numerous playtests and other linear maps is that it will really, really, really like turn the tides. It's one that I would not have a lot of. I'd probably place one like just, you know, strategic points. Once again, probably play the same role as like the calcine disruptor. You can kind of place them at any point in your map. Just I would not have a lot of them. I would not give a lot of ammo to it. The skewer is a weapon that is it's gonna fit a niche role. It's kind of like the sniper. You know, you can kind of get away with it anywhere. However, you're gonna like your player's gonna want to make sure they hit their shots. Obviously, it's one that like not everybody's gonna be able to use and absolutely dominate with, but the ones that can use it, it's gonna be fun. You can get quicklys with it. You can you know, pick off a few zombies, maybe about to get y'all. Things of that sort, but it's not really a bad weapon. It's one you can get away with maybe a few of them in your map. As for all swords, it's infection. You don't really want swords in your map, but if you do, all these swords here are pretty much going to play the same against zombies. Zombies are typically going to get affected energy sword or this one. Some modes might have these other ones, and once again, it's just going to depend on what you got to determine, you know, strengths and weaknesses against one another. Like I know, I think the Blood Blade just does more damage. This one, I believe, has gives you increased speed. I believe you have slightly more damage. The sword itself is just a sword. Infected is just the same thing as a sword, just reskinned. Grenades, grenades. Basically, they can go anywhere in your map. Of course, you're gonna want to like think of it kind of like I would probably not put a bunch of dynamos and frags though, just because frags. I mean, look, a frag's a frag. You know what I mean? It's gonna do its job. It's really gonna clear out a horde. Dynamos, same thing. It's really gonna, you know, cause an interlinking effect and just wipe out a horde easy. Plasma grenades. I mean, more times than not, you're gonna want to hit a stick with it. You can get away with probably killing one or two, but more times than not, zombies if they're running by it, it might get one or two in the horde or whatever. It's just gonna stay in the one place. Same thing with a spike grenade. It's not gonna be bouncy and really like get its way around a corner like these other two. Okay, so think about that when you're using when you're placing your weapons and grenades down. Now, as you can see, I didn't include fusion coils and equipment because you don't always need fusion coils, but they can be fun. Whether you use the big one or the little ones that you can throw, just depends on your map. And I've used them in my map design video. I'm about to have come after this, and in there you'll see kind of how I use some fusion coils, and I'll explain in there. my thought process to that. Um, and as far as equipment, typically I don't use equipment in my infection modes, but if you feel like you want to use equipment, just keep in mind what you're putting down and kind of like what your map has to offer. Um, but yeah, that's going to be about it for this video. So that's just this is all 100% my own opinion. If you think that, oh yeah, assault rifles should just be more down here or whatever, once again, it's up to your discretion what you think is gonna be best for your map. But these are weapons. These weapons are just ones that I like to use in my maps, and I just kind of keep this in mind whenever I'm placing them down and kind of how I just do things. So thank you so much for tuning in.